Hello, everyone. Welcome to Top FCTV. We have a new match reaction. The Gooners. The Goons cannot get the win away in the Netherlands. Are they in trouble? Let's talk about this one. All right, as you see it on your screen right now. But first of all, let's get to as many likes as we can. It helps us a lot to keep on growing. Let's get to 20, 30, 50 likes if you can. Please help us out. If you are an Arsenal fan, if you are a neutral fan, regardless, help us out to reach more people. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already done so. Let's look at this game in particular. Arsenal, look, I've been saying this whole season that their form in the Champions League, it has been really, really good, really positive, winning a lot of the games, beating Lons, the last one at home. And of course, this one was going to be different because they're not getting as many people that usually are starters back on the lineup. Eddie Nketiah is not a starter. Nelson is not a starter. Mohamed Effendi is not a starter. Jorginho is not a starter. Trossard plays a lot. Trossard plays a lot. He's not usually a starter, but regardless. Now, the back defensive line, Gabriel and SALIBA, they are the starters, and people, Arsenal fans, really rate those guys. A lot of people do the banter stuff and don't rate them. I don't understand that. Regardless, uh, Q, Jacob Kiwur, I think is his name. I don't want to say it wrong, but regardless, I probably did. And also Cedric Suarez. This is a really, really not a lineup that the Arsenal play often, aside from the center backs and of course Kai Havertz as well. Everybody else, Eddie and Nketiah gets minutes, but regardless, this was a really, really secondary lineup for Arsenal Football Club, and they know that they're already qualified for the Champions League. They already know that for the next phase they already know that they don't really need to risk these players. They want to, relieve some of these players from the pressure and all that from the minutes, of course, so they don't get tired because obviously performing for the Premier League right now at this point, at this moment, is more important than this game. Now, even then, what a nice goal right there by Eddie Nketiah. What a nice performance. What nicely done. And as you see it right there, well, maybe you're not going to see the goals per se, but regardless, nice performance, and it was a nice goal score. You know, kind of similar to the one Richarlison. A lot of fans might not rate it, but look, Eddie Nketiah is a nice striker. Maybe he is a good substitution for most clubs. In the beginning of the season, I thought that he would be a nice player to start to see what he can do on the pitch. Regardless, he ended up losing his plays. Gabriel Jesus comes on after the injury, etc. And yeah, it is what it is. I think Gabriel Jesus is a better center back or center striker, and if you compare the two, regardless, it doesn't matter because what you're seeing right now is Arsenal Football Club playing with three original starters, three Havertz and the two center backs, and they are still get a positive result away from home. I think that's a very positive thing. I think that's again to my point last match of saying that they have the heart of a champion. You know what I mean? They have, even though they haven't won, regardless, they have something that you need. The Manchester City have that going away at Luton, they still get the result. You know what I'm saying? That going, the same thing that Liverpool has, losing at Fulham or at home with Fulham, and then they still come back the same thing. I think Arsenal has the same little championship chip or characteristic that I really like on teams that maybe you don't have the best performance. That when maybe your players are not playing at a high level, you still manage to get a point, to get the 3 points somehow, some way. And I think that this Arsenal team, you have to take that in consideration. You have to take that thought process. You can either look at it half full or half empty, right? Well, regardless, I think this is a positive thing for Arsenal. If you look at it now, all these there we go. All these guys, all these guys that played once again. Jorginho, when's the last time he played like really meaningful minutes? A long time. Uh Odegaard came on in the 64th and 62 minute, 62nd minute, I believe. Yeah. And then Declan Rice, of course. Then for the most part, Havertz came off. Rowe came on. Gabriel Jesus came on at the 86th, at the 89th minute. So a lot of those guys got some minutes as well to make sure that they don't that they stay fit football wise. PSV haven't been really a team that you really need to be concerned of. I know they scored. One thing I will say though, that people will say that, that there was a howler by Saliba. And I was on a show, and a member there, Mont, big up the Mont and Big Six Bands. He said that it was a howler by Saliva, and I don't see a howler whatsoever. Actually, I see just a great shot. Just a great shot, goes on the bottom, and you know what I mean? He just crosses the shot, and it is what it is. Well, not crosses the shot, but open shot. It just goes in. Nice curve. It goes in, man. I don't think it was a howler whatsoever by Saliba. Uh, to be honest with you, to be fair with you, the player, let's just say up here, he's gonna cross like that. He's gonna come with the ball like this, and Saliba is right here. However, people want him to go and close in on this guy. This guy is less danger because there's a guy behind Saliva that's coming like this, and if he passes the ball, then if he's alone, then that's a clear goal. That would be a howler. But what Saliva did was, feeling the guy behind him, he follows the guy because that's the easier shot. This guy made a really nice shot, and at the end of the day, better offense got better defense. Good offense beat good defense in this situation. So it's not a howler. It wasn't a mistake by Saliba. We got to lay off of him. He did a good job on that one. He took this best decision. At some point, you just got to make the best decision you can. At the end of the day, sometimes it's not going to work, but it is what it is. Now Ramsdale, I thought he was going to get. I thought he was hurt in the beginning of the match, but regardless, he ended up staying on, and it was a normal match for him as well. A 7-point match, to say the least. Regardless, you know, I think this was a positive match for Arsenal Football Club. I know that we want to get on the bent and all that stuff, and ultimately, I'm not 100%. I'm not that guy, and just keep in mind the statistics certainly don't lie. And if you look at these statistics, you can tell that PSV had better numbers. But when you watch the game, it was kind of a pretty even. Now PSV had opportunities, 100%. They got 6 shots on target compared to 3 for Arsenal. A total of 17 for PSV and 12 for Arsenal. Kind of, I mean, 5 shots difference. The percentage. What I'm saying, I'm not going to go too crazy because at the end of the day, this is a really secondary lineup for Arsenal. So are we really going to question these guys when only 3 of the usual starters actually started? You see what I'm saying? And a lot of those guys came on. Odegaard did in the 60th minute, but that's probably the most meaningful starter because the rest came on in the 80th minute. Gabriel Jesus did. You know what I'm saying? The match is over by that point, and everybody else is happy with 1 point, with the tie. So I'm not going to go crazy. I think this was a good match. I'm not, it wasn't the greatest match by Arsenal, but regardless, they have that it factor that regardless of who they play and how they play, they might not be the greatest, but they're certainly not the worst. And is that enough to win the Premier League? That's a question for you. So let me know in the comment section down below. Smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. We will see you on the next one. My name is Chris. Bye bye.